One day, the fat director approached Emily at the yards. He had very exciting news for her. Good morning, Emily. I have some very important news for you. Really, sir? Said Emily. What is it? Well, Emily, I'm sure you're already aware of this railway's bad safety record with all the accidents we've been having. And to not completely scare away the passengers, I have decided to start a new service called the Fire and Rescue Service, and you will be its first engine. How does that sound? Well, sir, that's a great honor. Will there be any other engines working with me in that fire and rescue of yours? I still yet have to consider other engines, Emily, but in the near future, yeah, maybe you will. Emily was really excited and was looking forward to the job immensely. And from that day on, Emily became the railway's first and only fire and rescue service engine. She was very proud of this job and traveled down the line with a breakdown crane and a works unit coach. She was happy to have this job and very proud of it too. She would go around helping everyone she could, attending to emergencies and helping Albert with the maintenance. One afternoon, Emily was helping to clear up a mess that had happened at the old Fenlands. The silly trucks had held up Gerald over the bridge, and the bridge collapsed beneath him. Now he was stuck. Since Emily mainly worked on the Brendan Bay branch line, she never really got a chance to meet Gerald, and was eager to get the chance. Hello, I'm Emily. Who might you be? Gerald loudly sighed. My name is Gerald. I am the main quarry engine for the Farquhar branch line, and these silly trucks held me up on the bridge, and it collapsed beneath me, and now my paintwork is all dirty, and I just got it done yesterday. Never mind your paint right now. We better focus on getting you out of here. Then you'll get all cleaned up and your paint will shine as bright as possible. I guess you're right. It's just, my day was going so well too, and now this happened. I'm gonna smell like shit forever. Later that day, after Emily managed to pull out Gerald from the ditch water, they were both at the goods sheds at Elsbridge. Gerald was getting cleaned up while Emily was comforting him. He was still feeling cross about his earlier incident. This sucks, said Gerald. Now I'm going to be late for my next train, and I know the quarry manager is going to give me an earful about this. I'm sure he's going to understand about the trouble you had with the trucks. And besides, none of this was your fault. It is going to be my fault in his eyes. He absolutely sucks. He is always so rude to me whenever I enter the quarry, no matter if I'm early, late, or even right on time. I seriously need to talk to the fat director about working somewhere else. The Farquhar branch line is nice, but I'm really longing for a change. Well, I'm sure that you'll find a job that you really like one day. The fat director will understand, and who knows, maybe even fires that rotten man. That sounds like Gordon, said Emily. It was Gordon, and much like Gerald, he was feeling very cross. The accident Gerald had caused delays for him, and he was now rushing in fast to make up for lost time. Sounds like he's coming in fast, said Emily. As Gordon was passing, he shouted, You better mind yourself, little Gerald. Emily won't always be there to help you. She might slip up. And he quickly rushed off, leaving the two engines fuming. And there goes Mr. Nice Guy, fumed Emily. Emily knew that Gordon was poking fun at her traction problem, and Emily knew to be quite sensitive about it. Pay no mind to him, Emily. He's probably late for my little incident, and besides, how fast he's going, he'll probably tear himself to pieces, meaning he'll be the one who needs help. I guess you're right, Gerald. I just don't like it when people and engines make fun of my traction issues. I'm just as useful as everyone else. It's just I have a hard time sorting. Pay no mind to them, Emily, said Gerald. They're only trying to get under your paint. Emily knew that Gerald was right, but she still couldn't help feeling cross about what Gordon said to her, and later, she vented to Lily about it. "Don't pay mind to grumpy old Gordon," smiled Lily. "He's only trying to get to you, and besides, you're the perfect engine for this job. You always like helping everyone, and you're very quick on the tracks, which makes you perfect for attending emergencies." "Thank you for the encouraging words, Lily. It's just, I don't know if I'm right for this job. I mean, I won't have as much time to work on the Brendan Bay branch line with you guys anymore. I wish the fat director would get another engine to work with me. He did say he'd find an engine soon, but I don't know how soon is." "Well, who knows? Maybe I'll get to work with you, Emily," chuckled Lily. This made Emily smile. "In your dreams, Lily, you'd probably stick up somewhere." "I think Emily is right for the job too." "Lily, did you hear something?" "I said, I think you'd be right for the job. And besides, I don't think so. I know so, Emily." "Thanks for the encouraging words, you two. You know, now I feel a bit better about myself." "And you're right to think so, Emily," said Colin. "And besides, you're always about helping others, and you only have issues when you start. By the time you're already coasting down the line, it seems like you fly like an airplane." Emily was still feeling a bit unsure of herself, but she knew her friends were relying on her, so she plucked up as much courage as she could and decided to try her best. That evening, Emily was backing up to the sheds, and she was feeling quite proud of herself, and so were her friends. Well, most of them. Adam was also there. He heard about Emily's doubts from Lily and Colin, and decided to stay at enough sheds that night to try and support Emily. "Great show, Emily. You've really been making a change on this island. Engines are much happier, and the passengers feel much safer knowing that they're in your buffers." Gordon uncaringly rolled his eyes, but Emily didn't care. She was too happy to feel sad. "Thank you, Adam. You know, it's nice knowing that the passengers and my fellow engines are happier now, and I'll continue doing my best to keep it that way. Also, the fat director approached me today. He said I might make it to the newspapers." This got Gordon's attention, and his eyes immediately darted over to Emily. "Pah! If an important engine like me isn't getting a section in the papers, then you most certainly aren't, Emily. What do you even do? Patrol the island like you own the place? Don't make me laugh." Emily, not really caring what Gordon had to say, sweetly replied, "Gordon, the work I actually do is very important. It ensures the safety and comfortability of our passengers, and gives you a smooth run on the main line. And I know you need a smooth run. 1020 has been telling me all about you being a bumpy engine. Pah! Don't listen to 1020. He's just an old fusspot, a fuddy-duddy." Emily turned to Edward and Henry and whispered, "Huh? It seems like Gordon is the old fusspot. He is certainly fussy, Edward." Henry couldn't help but laugh, but Gordon certainly didn't find it funny. The next day, Emily was helping clearing a mess that Adam was involved in. The silly trucks pushed him and he derailed over the switches. He was causing endless delays and blocking the main line, and Gordon wasn't helping. "This is absolutely preposterous. I can't believe an important engine like me is being forced to wait because Adam couldn't handle a few trucks. It is absolutely disgraceful." Finally, poor Albert lost patience. "You know, Gordon, it wouldn't kill you to wait a bit more. And besides, if you are late, the fat director will understand." "But if I'm late leaving Knapford," interjected Gordon, "I'll be late to the next station, and the next, and the next. I'll have to go really fast to make up for lost time. Ugh. Move over, Albert. I'm taking your line." There's no way that's happening, Gordon. And besides, Emily is already using my line. And before you say that she can just move, well, she can't, Gordon. The time she wastes moving for you, she could have used that time to clear up this mess, meaning you'll be out of here sooner. And you know, a wise engine once told me, patience is a virtue. Gordon scoffed loudly. Albert looked over to Edward and gave him a knowing face. Edward couldn't help but laugh, and then he turned over to Gordon. Gordon, Albert is right. Just be patient and this will be over before you know it. While Edward and Albert were trying to soothe Gordon's feelings, Emily was trying to contain Adam's feelings. Once I get back on the tracks, I'm gonna bump all of you trucks so hard, that'll teach you a lesson. But the trucks didn't care, they just laughed at Adam. Oh, I will wash all of you when I so hard, murmured Adam under his breath. Now calm down, Adam, said Emily. You have to be smarter than the trucks. You have to be wiser than them. Trucks are silly wooden things on wheels. And you are a proud engine of the Northwestern Railway. So why don't we calm down? I'm sorry, Emily. It's just, these trucks are really starting to drive me mad. I can barely handle them anymore. I swear I'm gonna go insane. Well, Adam, maybe you should ask the FUT director for a day off. It seems that you're starting to get overwhelmed with work. And now it's starting to affect your performance and your handling on the trucks. I suppose you're right. I haven't gotten a rest in a long time. I mean, I don't know anymore. I've been working on this island for many years. I think it is about time that I have a rest. I don't even remember the last time I had an overhaul. Later that day, Emily was helping the workmen at Henry's Forest with cutting down some trees, branches, and basic maintenance that had to be done on the track. She was feeling very happy about herself. But suddenly, Henry arrived, and he was quite in a very sorry state. Emily was quite surprised. Henry, what's the matter? Emily, I can't do it anymore. These trucks, they hold an engine back. And boy, oh boy, have they been holding me back all day. I think I just might have my driver run down to the signalman, tell him I'm here, and just perish. Oh, Henry, don't say that. We're all useful in our own ways. You're stronger than me. It's just, your smoke box doesn't give you a fair chance. Look, I'll help you to the next station. Wellsworth isn't far from here. Emily backed up in front of Henry and they were both coupled up. And with that, the cavalcade puffed away. Emily took Henry to Wellsworth, where they stopped in a siding and saw Colin. He was just getting ready to depart with a train. Hello, Colin. How are you this afternoon? Where is that train headed for? Asked Emily. I'm getting on great. Thank you for the question, Emily. And I'm taking this train to Brendam Docks. I'm just waiting for my final trucks to be loaded. I see you have Henry there. Did he break down again? He did. He broke down right next to me when I was helping some workmen with maintenance. So I offered to take him here so he isn't sitting on the main line all day. We couldn't have it blocked now, could we? Well, I think it's wonderful how you strive to help everyone you can. You know, I actually did the same thing with Edward back in the day. Do tell. Sorry, Emily, I can't right now. I have a freight train to take to Brendam. All my trucks are loaded now. But goodbye, Emily. I'll tell you later. And with that, Colin puffed away. Now, what's going on back there? Why have we stopped?
You bumped us!
Said one truck.
Yeah, as you were leaving the station yard, you bumped us hard!
Said another. Colin did in fact bump the trucks as he was leaving, but he didn't realize this and thought the trucks were making up lies. You are not telling the truth. I never bumped you. Now, we better get a move on. The main line is blocked right now. There could be a crash.
Yeah, we don't care! Yeah! If there's gonna be a crash, so be it!
Said the trucks. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Colin, Adam was pulling a goods train. He had left the station before him, and he was being extra rough with the trucks. He was angry at them for pushing him off the tracks earlier, and he was keen on getting his revenge. The silly, troublesome trucks broke away from their engine and rolled down the hill and crashed into Colin's train, who was stalled over the points. Poor Colin felt bruised and bemused. He did not know what to think of the situation. Thankfully, he wasn't too hurt, but a truck hit into the back of his cab, meaning he would need repairs. It was a disaster. Not only were two lines blocked, but the crossing gate was also blocked, meaning cars or anything else couldn't get through. Just then, Emily arrived. She was as equally as surprised. Oh my goodness! Colin, what happened here? Emily cried. Well, in my case, the stupid troublesome trucks thought I bumped them when I left, which I did not. And they kept me on the junction. Just then, before I knew it, some trucks came rolling down the hill and crashed into my train. That sounds terrible, Colin. Don't worry, I think I left my cranes in the forest. I'll go get them. And with that, Emily quickly rushed off. Later that afternoon, after Emily cleared up the mess that had happened at Wellsworth, she went back to do maintenance, only this time, she did it with Albert. I can't thank you enough for coming to help, Emily. You know, I like doing maintenance, but it does get boring sometimes when you're all alone. Also, I'd watch out for Tyler if I was you. I don't think he learned this lesson from the last time he was reckless with maintenance. I'm pretty sure that the wee engine already learned his lesson. But honestly, I'd watch out for Gordon if I was you. Ha! That's our Gordon, a real stick in the mud. You don't have to tell me twice. Oh, and speak of the devil, here he comes. Sorry, Gordon, but you're gonna have to stop here. I can't stop. I have an express train to pull. You think I can keep my passengers waiting? We've already talked to the fat director once we found the track was unsafe, and he agreed to get a bus to take your passengers the rest of the way. You can't do this to me. How dare you even suggest such a thing, that my adoring passengers ride in such a filthy thing on wheels. It is absolutely disgraceful. It's not wrong, but we just don't do it. I'm sorry, Gordon, but there's nothing we can do. You could have an accident if you go over the tracks. Gordon snorted loudly as the workmen went to go back to work. I cannot believe that my passengers are being forced to ride in a wretched bus. Ew. Calm down, Gordon. We'll be done before you know it here, and then you can be on your way. Of course, you have something to do with it. Every day I've had to play the waiting game whenever you roll around. It is absolutely wretched. Wretched, I tell you, to keep an engine of my standards waiting. Be quiet, Gordon. What a nuisance you are. I think you've already proved how annoying you are. Now shut up. A little while later, Emily and Albert were still working on maintenance, but Gordon's patience was running thin. How long is this going to take? I feel like I've been waiting all day. Gordon, if you ask that question one more time, then I will guarantee you certain death. Now please, shut your trap. Ha! It's absolutely ridiculing, making an engine of my standards wait this long. It's absolutely... Gordon, if you say the word disgraceful one more time, I think I might jam this crane up your mouth. Now shut up! Gordon didn't know what to do. He did not want to wait for any longer, but he knew he couldn't get through, when suddenly, he saw an open track right next to him. Perfect, thought Gordon, and quickly started reversing. Now what in God's name are you doing? I won't be waiting any longer, Emily, he announced. I'm taking a shortcut. And once the points were switched, he quickly rushed onto the tracks without a second's thought. He's heading for trouble, said Emily. Albert could do nothing but agree. At first, Gordon was feeling very pleased with his idea, but soon, he slowly realized that he was on the loop line. Eventually, Gordon made it to the Fenlands, where a very old bridge stood. This is where Gerald had his accidents. When Gordon started crossing over it, the bridge creaked and groaned, and the coaches really took a toll on it. But surprisingly, Gordon made it over with no issues. Ha! Fastest and best, I pulled the express, he proudly announced to no one, and continued on his trip happily. But not for long. As Gordon was climbing a small gradient, he saw something very shocking. There was another train parked right in front of him, and it didn't look like it was moving anytime soon. What the bloody hell? Gordon, what are you doing there? I was polling the express, and the signalman never notified me you were here. Yes, said Gordon, trying to sound as innocent as possible. Wait a damn minute. Gordon, this isn't the express line. The express line is... Wait a minute. There was maintenance going on, wasn't there? Well, yes, but I couldn't make my passengers late. You know, that would never do with the fat director. So, you're telling me you crashed a whole train filled with passengers because you were a baby and couldn't wait? Well, my passengers took a bus so they wouldn't have to wait. So let me get this straight. You were too much of a baby to wait for maintenance to be completed. So without notifying any signalman or the fat director or anything, you just went on down a line that's reserved for branch line and local goods trains, and then just thought, oh look, there's Gerald's train. Let me just crash into it because I'm so fucking smart. Gordon didn't say anything else. He didn't really care what Gerald said to him. He was more worried on what the fat director will say that night. And boy oh boy, let me tell you, he wasn't happy at all. Gordon the Big Blue Engine. What is wrong with you? You know you're not supposed to go down a line you shouldn't, and look what happened. You're lucky your passengers weren't on board. Who knows what would have happened? Yes, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Now, Gordon, you're usually a really useful and really respectable engine, so I'll let you off the hook this time, but I'll be keeping a close eye on you from now on. Do you understand, Gordon? Yes, sir. I understand, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Once the fat director walked away, Gordon was left with a very angry group of engines. Now that is not fair, started Gerald. Gordon got off the hook easy, but if that was me, I would be next in line for the scrapyards. I was only left off the hook because the fat director knows that it wasn't my fault too. It was Emily's and Albert's. They took too long. This would have never happened if they worked faster. Well, gee, thanks, Gordon. It's not like we were working our asses off trying to work as fast as we could, so we wouldn't have to hear grumpy old Gordon groaning all day. You can't be seriously blaming me and Albert for this, Gordon. We were working as proper engines should. You were just being stupid. Okay, you little engines are so annoying. Like, seriously. You can't seriously be saying that to Gordon. Me and Albert are actually not annoying, believe it or not. Okay? And you, well, you're just there annoying everyone. Like, you cannot stand you anymore. Albert is right. You really are annoying. When I first came to the railway, I thought you were really nice, but I don't think I was the reason. Yes, you too, stupid. You're stupid, Gordon. Everyone shut the hell up. Jesus Christ. It seems I can't get a moment's peace anymore, can I? It seems like that every night something is going on here with you guys, or anyone who comes in the sheds. There's always some sort of fight. I swear, I might as well just go sleep at Wellsworth. Y'all are acting like 5-year-olds. No, wait, let me rephrase that. 5-year-olds are more mature than you. You guys are acting like newborn babies. I'm going to sleep before I wake this whole goddamn island up. Good night. Edward very calmly drifted off to sleep, and nothing else was said that night. The next day, after Gordon was repaired, he was heading to collect his express train, and as usual, he was feeling as pompous and as proud as ever. Look at me, everyone. Doesn't my blue paint just shine and sparkle in the sun? No one really paid attention to what Gordon had to say, but he didn't care, and he continued going on. But then there was trouble. What has happened to me? Said Gordon. It feels as if I can't move. Gordon and his crew were very puzzled, and his crew checked him all over and finally found the problem. The workmen who repaired Gordon tightened Gordon's tender brakes too hard, and now they couldn't be released. Gordon was stuck. Who's going to take my passengers to the mainland? They're gonna be late for their connecting train. When Gordon saw the engine who was asked to pull his express, he was surprised and very dumbfounded at the same time. You, Emily? Ha! You could never pull my express, Gordon said with a still very shocked expression on his face. Oh, I will pull your express, Gordon. Don't you worry. Gordon loudly snorted as he watched Emily couple up to the express. She could never pull the express like I do. She'll probably not even be able to pull out of the platform. Emily heard this, and she was very cross. I'll show that, Gordon. Soon, the guard's whistle sounded, and Emily departed. Emily started as quickly as she could. She did have some trouble starting, but she quickly managed to puff away. She quickly rushed by Gordon, taking him by surprise. Emily's wheels pounded the rails. She was trying to keep a steady pace. The coaches were very impressed.
Go along, Emily. Go along, chickadee-chock.
Soon, they were out on the countryside, and Emily was tearing down the line. The coaches were having the time of their lives.
Go, Emily. Go as fast as you want. As fast as you want. Go on, Emily. Go on, Emily.
Houses, stations, bridges, sidings, engines, everything was a blur to Emily. She was going as fast as she could, which was surprisingly very fast. Soon, Emily arrived to Wellsworth. She saw Colin and Lily but didn't stop to say hello. Colin and Lily were mesmerized. Come on, Lily, let's go help Emily up the hill. Right you are, Colin, and the two engines puffed off quickly. Emily was soon climbing the hill. She was feeling exhausted. I have to be as good as Gordon. I have to be good as Gordon. And she tried her best to climb the hill, but she started slipping. Ooh, come on, coaches. We can do it. Oh. Emily started slipping, but not for long. We've got you, Emily. We've got you. Sorry for the hard bump. And the three engines charged up the hill. Finally, after very hard work, the three friends made it up the hill, and they traveled along together the rest of the way. Finally, the trio made it to Knapford Station. They were very tired, but they were very proud of themselves. When the other engines saw them, they were amazed. The engines made a grand entrance in the station, and promptly stopped when they were at the platform. Phew! That was hard work, said Emily. Thank you for the unexpected help, Colin and Lily, she chuckled to herself. No problem, Emily. Oh, we'd love to stay and party, but we better run. Adam is going to eat us alive for all the work we didn't get to do from helping you. Phew. Come on, Colin, let's go. That won't be necessary, you two, said Adam, who was already there. I made sure to do all of the work you missed. And I was mad at you earlier, but now that I see you did it for a better cause, I'm proud of you, and I think you two deserved a rest in the shed. Oh, thank goodness. Colin, we get to see another day. Presently, Gordon was also there, but he wasn't angry at all. He was actually very proud of Emily. Good job, Emily. You've pulled the express splendidly. All the passengers seem happy, and the coaches are in tip-top shape. You did very well. And I'm also sorry I was so rude to you the other day. Can we be friends again? Of course we can, Gordon. And thank you. I tried my best. But just then, the fat director came. He was on board Emily's train. Emily had no clue at all. Emily, I've been on the train that you just pulled, and I think you've pulled it very splendidly. And I'm very proud of you too, Emily. You've been doing a good job as an express engine and a fire and rescue engine. I am happy to have you as my engine on the island of Sodor, and I have a very special surprise for you. Just then, from the yards emerged Gerald, and he was pushing 3 coaches. Emily was most surprised. Emily, I'm proud to present your very own coaches. Me and many others agree that you've been a really useful engine, and that you certainly deserve them. All the engines cheered for Emily, and blew their whistles so loud that the fat director thinks he'll be deaf for weeks. Even Gordon cheered for Emily. And Emily, I think you'll be happy to know that I found a co-worker for you to work with. Emily is now as happy as can be, and she travels down the Brenda Bay branch line with her 3 coaches behind her back. And now that the Fat Director has got her a partner, she now has more time to work with her friends on the Brenda Bay Branchline family. And who's Emily's new partner, you may ask? Well, let's just say they're great friends.